My name is Dr. Samuel Lawson, a renowned scientist with a passion for the unknown. My relentless pursuit of knowledge has led me down a path I never could have fathomed, a path that would unravel the horrors of a sinister experiment. It all began with a mysterious letter that arrived at my doorstep. One stormy evening, the letter bore no return address, and its contents were cryptic, a simple invitation to partake in an experiment that promised to unlock the secrets of the human mind. Intrigued and unable to resist the allure of the unknown, I found myself at the address stated in the letter, a decrepit mansion nestled in the outskirts of town. The towering structure exuded an air of malevolence, yet I couldn't deny the thrill that coursed through my veins. As I stepped inside, I was greeted by a group of fellow scientists, each lured by the same mysterious invitation. Among them was Dr. Amelia Wells, a brilliant and enigmatic woman known for her controversial theories on the human psyche. She led us through the mansion's dimly lit halls, explaining that the experiment would push the boundaries of our understanding of the human mind. The details of the experiment were kept shrouded in secrecy, but I felt a sense of foreboding, as if we were treading into dangerous territory. In the heart of the mansion lay the experiment room, a dimly lit chamber with a single, ominous contraption at its center. Dr. Wells revealed that the experiment aimed to tap into the depths of the subconscious mind, unlocking hidden fears and desires. My scientific curiosity overshadowed any reservations I had, and I eagerly volunteered to be the first subject. Strapped to the contraption, I felt a surge of anticipation and anxiety, unsure of what lay ahead. Dr. Wells donned a sinister smile as she initiated the experiment. The contraption hummed to life, and a wave of darkness washed over me. My mind felt like it was being pulled apart, the boundaries between reality and the unknown beginning to blur. As the experiment progressed, I was plunged into a nightmarish realm, a twisted labyrinth of my deepest fears and regrets. I encountered shadowy figures and grotesque creatures, each embodying the darkest corners of my subconscious. I tried to scream, but my voice was silenced by the unyielding grip of the experiment. It was as if I was trapped in a prison of my own mind, tormented by the ghosts of my past. When the experiment finally ended, I emerged from the chamber shaken and disoriented. Dr. Wells observed me with a chilling smile, seemingly unaffected by the horrors I had just endured. But there was something different about her, something cold and detached, as if she was no longer the woman I once knew. The other scientists took their turn in the experiment, each emerging with their own tales of terror and despair. We tried to make sense of the nightmares we had faced, but the darkness clung to us like a suffocating shroud. As days turned into weeks, I noticed changes in my colleagues. They became increasingly distant and plagued by paranoia. The experiment seemed to have unleashed something malevolent within each of us, and it was slowly consuming our sanity. I sought answers from Dr. Wells, desperate to understand the true nature of the experiment, but she remained elusive, speaking in riddles and vague explanations. It was as if she reveled in our suffering, delighting in the chaos she had unleashed. As the nightmares persisted, I began to question the ethics of the experiment. It was no longer a quest for knowledge, it had become a sinister game, preying on our deepest vulnerabilities. I knew I had to put an end to this madness. Gathering what little courage I had left, I confronted Dr. Wells and demanded that she terminate the experiment, but she scoffed at my plea, her eyes gleaming with a malevolent glint. "Knowledge comes at a price, Dr. Lawson," she said coldly. "You can't turn back now. The darkness has claimed you." Her words sent a chill down my spine. It was as if she was no longer the brilliant scientist I once admired, but a vessel for the malevolence she had unleashed. Determined to free myself from the experiment's grasp, I searched for a way to reverse its effects. I studied ancient texts and delved into forbidden knowledge, seeking a solution that would save us from the abyss. As I conducted my research, I began to experience visions, horrifying glimpses of the experiment's origins. I saw a dark ritual, ancient symbols etched in blood, and a malevolent entity that had been summoned to power the experiment. The truth was more sinister than I could have imagined. Dr. Wells had made a pact with a malevolent force, sacrificing our minds in exchange for the forbidden knowledge she sought. In a desperate attempt to stop the madness, I confronted Dr. Wells once more, armed with newfound knowledge. I attempted to banish the malevolent entity that fueled the experiment, but my efforts were in vain. Dr. Wells revealed her true intentions. She had become consumed by the dark force she had unleashed, and she would stop at nothing to keep its power. As the mansion's walls seemed to close in around us, I knew that I was running out of time. I had to find a way to break free from the experiment's clutches and stop Dr. Wells before it was too late. With trembling hands, I gathered the remnants of my courage and confronted the malevolent entity. It thrived on fear and despair, but I refused to give in. I embraced the darkness within me, using it as a shield against the malevolence that sought to destroy us. In a surge of energy, I banished the entity back to the depths from which it came. The mansion shook with a powerful force, and the experiment's hold over us began to dissipate. I found Dr. Wells in a state of madness, her eyes glazed with a malevolent fury. I knew I had to put an end to the darkness that had consumed her. With a heavy heart, I activated the experiment one last time. The darkness washed over Dr. Wells, and she was swallowed by the very abyss she had sought to control. As the mansion crumbled around me, I escaped the clutches of the sinister experiment, but its horrors would forever haunt my dreams. I had delved too deep into the unknown, paying a steep price for my insatiable curiosity. In the aftermath of the experiment, I vowed to bury the malevolent knowledge that had plagued us. The sinister experiment would remain a secret, locked away in the darkest corners of my mind, a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurk when we tamper with forces beyond our understanding.